20th of April, Easter Sunday 2025. This is about weed killing or poisoning trees. If you look there, you'll see a tree to the right, it's a sycamore. It's coming into blossom. If you look in the middle, you'll see one which is only partly around the edge there. And if you look here, you'll see an ash. You'll see the ivy on it, but you'll see an ash. Now, funny enough, ivy is very good for wildlife, especially the wood pigeon. They like the cover of it. It's doing no real harm in the case of a tree, and it's great fire stuff when you burn it. Now, this tree I poisoned about 5 years ago. I drilled holes into it and I put in my mix, which I'll deal with it later. You can see that it hasn't been fully successful. I want it out of there because it's leaning over old walls and an old gateway there. Now, here's a tree that fell during the storm. We'll cut the top of it for firewood. Not too sure about the trunk, might do for some type of wood. But in any event, it still has a grip in the rock and the soil. So it's continuing to grow. So because it's getting nutrients and water from the remaining roots, the tree is sprouting. So here I've cut a slot. That'll be cut up anyway. I've cut a slot, and I've cut a slot here and here and here. So I put two. Now, if you're doing this to a standing tree and you put the slot any of these ways, you run the risk of the tree falling. So you need to put the cut vertically if the tree is standing. If it falls, then it'll do either way. The main point is you put your poison into the cavity, and always have it tilted down so that the liquid runs down. So have the saw up and the blade down, pointing downwards. Or if you're using an auger, the same. Or if you're using a electric drill with a bit or whatever you're using, you need at least a 1/2 inch twist drill to bore in and go in bit at a time. And you might have to get a syringe to inject the liquid. Now, the liquid, again, that I use is one part waste oil. If you can get waste oil, it'll work without it. 1 part waste oil, 3 parts diesel oil, and that's 4, and 6 parts Roundup. Brushwood, weed killer or tree killer will do as well. So there you have it. 1, 3, 6, and 6 of Roundup. But the diesel oil definitely seems to help. But some might argue if you just put in Roundup and water 50-50, it'll do the job. Now, here's an example of an ash, a big ash tree, and at some time it'll have to be cut, for there are wires, electric wires and all that near it, and we'll have to get it cut. But for now, anyway, I've dug in here. You see the cut I've made, and when I go in a bit, I find that it's rotten inside. So that tree would eventually come down itself. Now, it's stuck the recent storm, so I've cut a wee bit here. Do you see here? Now, do you see the vertical slot? See it? Not a horizontal, because a horizontal will weaken the tree. Now, by right, I'd want to have them on opposite sides. But now I've spelt in my stuff there, and that should do it. You can get a syringe off the vet, or maybe a chemist shop, or off a hardware shop, a 1 inch syringe, a plastic syringe, and you can inject the stuff in there. And you can always give it another go. It's best off done in dry weather. But it will work, and it's a way of keeping trees at bay until you can't cut them. It's costing something like 1,000 to knock a tree. That's to trim it at the top and take it down. And you're still left with a massive big stump. So I don't know what the answer to that is. It can be very expensive. My advice is decide what you're keeping and what you're not. And I think insurance will not cover a tree if it's rotten inside. So it's a huge trouble and a huge expense. And some lads tear open the tree and pull it with the tractor. That tree there, a lot of the weight is this side. It's the wrong way. It's €350 to hire out a cherry picker. So I'll probably, I have an excavator. I'll probably put the excavator against that and a tractor at the other side and someone to drive the two and then cut it. There's going to be a bit of cutting on that. But it's better than having it falling, okay? And maybe falling on houses and all that. So like everything else, prevention is better than cure. And if you haven't the way of cutting it, now you know, drill a hole in with a drill or whatever and give it plenty of Roundup, a wee drop of diesel oil and a drop of ordinary oil, waste oil. Now, some people in America, they use stump remover. That's potassium nitrate. You can't get that here. So, but ammonium nitrate, they say, is a good one. Ammonium nitrate will kill a good lot too. So you can put in a bit of it. And they say if you put in low salt, not the ordinary salt, low salt. You'll get it there in the shop and put it in with it. And we drop of water to say that that'll kill the tree as well. But once you get the hole drilled, you can keep at it till it dies. And you'd want to do it in the next month because the sap is going up on them at an awful rate at the moment. Okay? Comment underneath, and if anyone has any experiences of these things, trees are a nightmare on a property. And can I set one time and they built a housing estate beside it, and I could have been put out of the country if it had a fall. I had to pay a lot of hard work and a lot of tough work to get it out of there, but I got it out of there. It was a sycamore. It was a poplar. Poplars grow very fast. Right, we'll see you back soon. Poplars, in fact, if they grow, they don't last long. You'll never get a poplar tree over 50 years. Every one of them around here fell. So be careful where you set them. Be careful where you set any tree. Bye. Comment underneath. That's the farming trees. Good luck. Bye-bye.